Hi everyone, this is just a quick update. I am 24 weeks, I've almost 25 weeks. I think on Monday I turned 25 weeks, it's Friday. This was a big week for me just because it's, viability. I know that there's no guarantees that if your baby were born at 24 weeks that it would make it, but knowing that it would have a chance made me feel so much better about getting to, through this week. The baby is extremely active, especially at night, and the movements are getting big. My husband can feel them, and if I lay on my sides, it will bounce off of my sides and the mattress and whatever. And so that's good. Everything's going good pregnancy-wise. Still getting my progesterone shots, obviously. I can't show you a belly pic this week because I'm sitting down in the car. I'm headed to my school. But I wanted to make I remember last week I said I knew that there was something else I wanted to talk about, and I couldn't remember what it was. Well, I remembered, and it's my cyst. So for those of you who don't know, I have a dermoid cyst on my right ovary. My left ovary was, I just ate lunch. So my left ovary was removed in 2010 when I had my C-section with my second child. The history of that, I did make a video about that. It's probably way back in my videos, probably from 2016. And it's, I'll try to just quickly go over. So I started having pain in my left side when I was about 16, and they did a vaginal ultrasound, I believe. It's so hard to remember, and didn't see anything. So they said that it was fine. And so I never really got anywhere else with that. I never took it further. And I had my first daughter when I was 18, and she was a vaginal birth, and all was fine. So when I had my second daughter, I had an emergency C-section, and this was in 2010 when I was 28, and they found that my left ovary had a dermoid, or a teratoma, whatever you want to call it, that was the size of a grapefruit, a large grapefruit. So it had been there for years, and had not been found for some reason. I guess we hadn't investigated that much, and by the time I was pregnant with my second daughter, it probably was hidden, because they don't really always look at your ovaries, if there's no reason to. So and I didn't have an early ultrasound with her. My first ultrasound with Ruby, I believe, I was 15 or 16 weeks. So anyway, so they took the whole ovary because it was pretty much gone by then. And that doesn't really affect your fertility necessarily. People get, afraid because they don't want to lose an ovary, which is understandable. But the dermoid cyst is just a solid, it has tooth and bone and hair, but it doesn't affect your fertility always like other cysts can. But having one removed is tricky because it is solid, and they have to cut into your ovary. They can't just drain it. So if they cut into your ovary, you can have damage to your ovarian reserve. So anyway, my other ovary during the C-section, which was, like I said, in 2010, looked fine, so they just left everything. My periods were always regular. The one ovary takes over for the one that's missing. I've always had regular periods and regular ovulations. So when we started trying to get pregnant again, which was 2014, I started having pain in the right side. And sure enough, I had a laparoscopy done in 2015, and because they thought it was a simple cyst and they were going to drain it, and it turns out it's another dermoid cyst, which scared me at the time because this is my last ovary and I always wanted another child. So anyway, the cyst, I don't know exactly how big it is now. Last check was when I was with the fertility doctor, and it was about 5 centimeters, which is getting up there. Well, the cyst does give me some pain. It's not horrible, it's not like it's twisting, but it's cramping, and it's frustrating, and I hate the cyst and I want it gone. And I know they can remove the cyst without removing the ovary. So I talked to the doctor the other day when I had my appointment, and I was hoping I could have it removed when I had the C-section, and she said that they don't usually like to do that because of blood flow, because there's so much blood flow during surgeries, and I understand that. I don't want to put myself at risk for anything. And she said they won't really know until they get in there, if like to do the C-section, if they can remove the cyst without, you know, during the C-section. So the thing that's frustrating to me about that is that I don't want another surgery. I've had enough surgeries, but I also don't really want to lose this ovary because I really don't want to go through menopause at 30. I'll be 37. And so that's a dilemma. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to do about that. I guess, like she said, we're going to have to wait. If the baby, or if they have to take the baby out and not take the ovary or the cyst, then okay, I guess I'll have another surgery. But God, the thought of like, because depending on the size of the cyst, they might have to do an open surgery, which is like another C-section. If it's a laparoscopy, I don't mind. I've had one of those. They're not so bad. But an open surgery, I really prefer not to have another. So anyway, that's my dilemma this week. And I don't have much more time because I've got to go. But if you have any questions or anything, put them in the comments. Otherwise, I'll make another video next week. Yeah, this update's pretty boring as far as, but that's good. So pregnancy is going well. I'll talk to you guys later.